This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, let's get started. So far, what we have done, we created four servers, four machines, right? And out of four machines, we have three servers and one client machine, Windows 10 machine. Now, all of them are located in California, in West US data center, and we are remotely connecting to these machines. Now, one by one, we have started installing the prerequisite. Now, yesterday we installed Active Directory Domain Services role on domain server. So what we have to do today is we need to make this server as a domain controller and DNS server. We need domain controller and DNS server. These are the two prerequisites for SCCM. Without domain and DNS, SCCM cannot be installed. Okay, so we have to install a domain controller on domain server. Let's go to domain, Deepika, and everyone who is on the same page can go to domain, and then at the right hand side top you have the flag icon, exclamation mark is there at the right hand side. Click on that and choose promote this server as a domain controller. Okay, now here you have to choose a domain name. What is a domain name? Domain is what it is, like a brand. What is the name? Let's say Yahoo is your domain, Google is your domain, or any whatever the company name you have, you can put your domain name as your company name. So click on add a new forest, because we don't have any existing domain, any existing forest. Add a new forest, and here you choose a domain name, anything of your choice. I won't recommend that you put SCCM. Choose let's say choose Nike.com. Nike, the shoes company, Nike.com. Okay, so that's the domain name. Next, and here it is asking you to enter password, because it is going to be a DNS server. As you see, it is going to be DNS server. It is going to be global catalog server, and it is asking you to enter password. This password is basically for authentication. In case your domain is crashed, you can restore your domain. At the time of restoration, it will ask you this password, whatever the password you are going to set up here.
Or shall I give the same password which I use for machines?
Yes, you have to give the same password, but you have to wait for some more time because it is thinking.
Okay.
Okay, you see, it is the bar is going on.
Yes, yes.
Uh, Okay, now you need to enter the password in both the boxes. You copy and paste it. Next, next.
Create DNS.
So DNS, we will have DNS later on. Automatically, it will create.
Okay.
Okay, so next. NetBIOS name of this machine will be Nike. Okay,
Okay.
next. These are the locations for database folder, log folder, and group policy law folder. Let's go next. This is the description, summary, what you have chosen so far. Next. And now it is checking for prerequisites. If
Oh,
you have installed all the prerequisites, and if this server is eligible to become a domain controller, then
okay.
it will ask you to click on install. Okay, so all the prerequisite passed successfully. However, we have some warning message because you have not given a static private IP address. So that's okay. Just go ahead and click on next. All
But I made
prerequisite passed.
I made all the IPs of static.
Sorry?
I made all the IPs as static, Kashif.
No, you made public IP static, not private IP. The machine has private IP, right? When
Okay.
you do IP config, let me click on install. So we just started the installation. Now this machine has two IP address, one to connect from inside, right? And one to connect from outside. So the
Okay.
public IP which we are using, that is outside public IP, but the inside public IP, I mean inside IP is this one, config. This is our private IP, okay?
Okay.
We have not made it as a static IP address, we have made it as dynamic. But
Okay.
it will not change, okay? It will never change, it will remain as it is. So that was
Okay.
the warning message it was giving, that you have not made it as static. That's okay. Now it is installing our domain controller and DNS server, okay? Now
Okay.
let's go to the second point. Now all the machines are pointing to Azure DNS. Azure has given us a DNS, the default DNS, that's a public DNS, okay? But we don't want public DNS. All machines should be point to the internal DNS. Which is our internal DNS server, guys? This one, right? Domain server. This server is going to be domain controller plus DNS server. So whenever you are pinging any machine or whenever you go to any website, all the traffic should come to domain first. Okay, understood?
Okay.
So whenever you are pinging or going to any website, the name resolution will happen from here. Okay, so this is an internal DNS server. Rather than all the machines are now pointing to external DNS, the Azure provided DNS. So how do we do it? What is the IP address of this machine? If you do IP config, you see 10.0.0.4. This is an internal DNS IP address. Now let's go to Azure portal. And go to virtual network on the top, look for virtual network. Click on that, VNet West US, yes. Now here you have in the list, in the same list where your mouse is, if you go down, DNS server is there. I'll show you. This is our DNS server. Now all the machines connected to this DNS at the moment, all 4 machines are pointing to Azure provided DNS, the public DNS. You know, whenever I will go to any ping, let's say I ping database, it will not ping internally, it will go outside and check database. If I ping Windows 10, it will go outside to ping. Got it?
Okay.
So we don't want that one. We want the custom. So choose custom and type in the IP address of your domain server. 10.0.0.4. That is your IP address of domain server, the DNS server. 10.0.0.4. Dot 4. And then save. So all computers will start pointing to the internal DNS. Okay.
Okay.
So now this change we made, right? We changed the DNS pointer from external DNS to internal DNS. This change will happen in all the machine when you restart those machines. It will not happen until you restart the machine. So how will you restart the machine? You need to restart the machine. You go to Azure. Can you go to virtual machine? Check all the boxes and choose restart.
Restart.
I'll show you where is restart. Yeah, that is the restart. Click on yes. So all machines will restart and they will start pointing to the internal DNS.
Internal. Okay.
Okay. Now open Notepad again. Point number 4. Register all the machines to Nike.com domain. Register all the machines to Nike.com domain. All the machines to, yeah, your domain name is Nike.com. So you need to register all the machines to Nike.com.
Okay.
Currently, those machines are not registered, right? Those machines are individual machines, work group machines. They are not domain joined computers. We have to join them to the domain. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's connect to all the machines. Go back to this remote mremote application. Double click to connect to all the machines. Yes, copy the password and paste it. Is the domain connected? Okay, you need to use, now what you have to use, you can't use this account. This account will not work. Why this account will not work? Hmm? Because you have made it as a domain controller. On domain controller, you can't use Deepika. You will have to use nike.com/Deepika now because it's a domain
Okay.
join computer. So click on
Okay.
more choices and then use different account. Here you choose nike.com/Deepika and then your password. So it's a domain join computer now, this domain server. So you cannot use the local account. Click on OK.
Okay.
Does not okay. Looks like it is still restarting. Wait, can you open command prompt here on this machine? Not here. Not no. On SCCM server or database server. Open command prompt. Open command prompt here. And search ping domain. Can you ping domain? So it should point to the internal DNS and start looking for the IP address. Okay, ping 10.0.0.4. 4. The last one is 4. Yeah, it is pinging. Now again try to connect to domain. Double click on domain to connect. More choices, use different account, nike.com, and the password. Wait. Computer does not allow. So I'm restarting domain now. Let's see.
So let's check now, Akash.
Okay, so as you see, domain is now ready, and database, SCCM, and Windows 10, all machines are up and running. Now the next point is to register all the machine to the domain. So currently only a domain server is registered because that's a domain controller. By default, it gets registered. But SCCM, database, and Windows 10, we have to register them with Nike.com. So let's go to database. And click on local server at the left hand side, and then you have work group. Click on this work group, click on change, and here you have domain, and here you need to type in Nike.com. That's the domain, right? You need to register to. Click
Yes.
OK. Type in your username and password, Deepika, and the password. Click OK, and then click OK, and then click on close and restart. Very good. Now do the same thing on SCCM PS. Change domain. Okay, now Windows 10, you need to do the same thing on Windows 10. On Windows 10,
Uh,
how will you join it to the domain? I'll show you. You need to open File Explorer. Okay, then right click on this PC and then Properties. And then if you go down, you have Advanced System Settings. And then go Computer Name here, change and domain, and enter the domain domain name and then username and password.
shall I restart it manually?
Sorry?
Shall I
Yeah,
restart it?
Windows 10.
Yes.
No, Windows 10 is restarted already. This is domain. All these
Okay.
machines are restarted. Database, domain, and
Oh,
database, SCCM, and Windows 10. All these
okay.
machines are restarted. Now, what you have to do, let's disconnect all the, sign out all the machines. Okay. So domain server, right click and then sign out. Okay. We will sign out. Then cancel. Then we have a database. So we will sign out this database as well. Got it? Then we have SCCM. We will sign out SCCM.
Why we are doing this?
because we will use the domain account, not the local account. Currently, we are using local account. Deepika is the local account, but we will use Nike/Deepika.
Okay.
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 So sign out. Okay. Now one by one, we will use the up arrow key and down arrow key on the keyboard, not mouse. Okay. Up arrow key and down arrow key on the keyboard. So can you, yeah. And now here, when you use this domain, below you have user ID and password. So type in Deepika and the paste the password, and in the domain type in nike.com. Paste the password. Domain nike.com. Okay, very good. Now use the up arrow key and down arrow key on. No, first you have to click here, and then now go to database. Yeah, on database type in Deepika. That's the user ID and the password, and nike.com. Again, you click on SCCM lab folder, and use the up arrow key, down arrow key on the keyboard. Yes, very good. Nike.com is the domain. Again, go to that folder on the top. Now use down arrow key on the keyboard, Windows 10, right? User ID, Deepika. Okay, on the top, click on File and Save. Save connection file. Very good. Now just click on domain, single click on each one of them. Yeah, they will get connected with the domain account. They will not be using the local account. Every computer will have Nike/Deepika,
Okay.
not the local account. You have to make sure the account is domain account. Click on SCCMPS, click on database. In order to identify whether you are using the domain account or the local account, how will you do that? Let's suppose on database. If you would like to check it on database, you go to command prompt, and here you type in what? Who am I? Who am I, and hit enter. You see Nike/Deepika. It is not using database/Deepika. If it is getting the database/Deepika, then it's a problem. It's Nike is the domain name and / the user ID. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
In every machine, if you do who am I, it will give you the same result. Okay. Now the next point: download and install SQL Server. Next point on the notepad. Point number 5. Download and install SQL Server. Install SQL Server on database box. Now database box is going to be what? The SQL Server, right? So we have to download and install. Wait, I will give you the link first. Wait.
Okay.
Okay, so copy this link, tinyurl.com/sqldb2016. Copy this link. This is the link you need to copy and go to database server and click OK. Now here in Internet Explorer, paste the link. Hit enter. Okay, that will take you to my Google Drive. You can download this 2016 SP2 SQL Server. Now click on download button. Click on download anywhere and then click on open and wait for few seconds. Okay, so that got open. You just have to double click on setup file. Double click on setup. Okay, now a screen will come in few seconds and then you have to use that wizard to do the installation. So we are going to make this server as a SQL server, guys. Okay, so left hand side you have a standard installation. Click on installation and then you need to click on first one, new SQL Server standalone installation. Oh. Yeah, evaluation, we don't have license, so we will go with evaluation. Okay, next. Now here we have to choose couple of things. Since it is going to be database server, so we need to use this database engine service. So that will help us to make this server as SQL server. The second thing is reporting services native. Click on reporting services native. Okay. So these are the two things we need. One is report server. The second one is database SQL server. Okay. Next. So in order to connect to the database, we need what? Instance ID. So this will be the instance ID, MS SQL server. So that's the default one. Let's go next. Now, in order to basically these extra services will get installed in the computer. These 4 services will be installed in the computer. Now, Microsoft recommends that you use domain account, not this local account. So you need to delete this and type in Nike/. Deepika. That's your user ID, right?
Yes.
And you copy that user ID and paste it in the other ones. Okay. And you have to copy the password from here and put the password in all these 3 boxes. Okay. Understood? So this is the user ID, and all the services will be in automatic mode so that you don't have to manually start the service. It will automatically be started.
Okay.
Okay. So these extra services will get created here on this machine, and those services will be controlled by Deepika user. And this is the password for Deepika. Let's go next. Now, who will have read and write permission on database? You need to assign rights to somebody who will be the database administrator. So let's add one account. Click on add current user. Below you have add current user. Cancel. Choose add current user. So Deepika, Nike/Deepika, okay, will have read and write permission on the database. So this is gonna be the database administrator. Okay. Next and install. Yeah, install and configure and install. So this is going to be our SQL Server. SQL Server will be ready in
Okay.
15 minutes from now, hopefully. So once the SQL Server installation is done, then only you need to stop all the machines. Not now. Wait for like 10-15 minutes
Okay.
because this is going on, and then stop
Okay.
all the machine. Windows
Sure.
10, Windows 10 and SCCM you can stop. Okay, these 2 machines we can stop. So I'm gonna stop them. Windows 10 and SCCM. But domain and database, they have to be running
Okay.
when the installation is going on. After
Okay.
10-15 minutes, you need to check these boxes, domain and database, right? And click on what? You need to check these
Stop.
boxes and then you need to click on stop. Okay, not
Okay.
now. Wait for the installation to finish.
Okay.
Okay, any question from anyone? Kishore, you joined late.
Yes, Kashyap. Sorry, I got late.
Okay, you have to complete all these things, whatever we did. Everyone will have to do it. Ravi, Raja, Meena, Mahesh, everyone will have to set up your own lab. Either you do it on Azure or do it local.
Yes, Kashyap,
Okay.
I will do it.
Hi, Kashif.
Sure.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can.
Kashif, if I have already a SQL database in my DB, can I use that the same one, or I have to
Yes,
create a new one?
use the same one, but make sure that is not expired. When did you install that?
Like I'm using already for some other for SharePoint. That
Yeah, so
DB I can use.
use the same one.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys. Thank you everyone for joining this session. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay, thanks. Bye.